Hello and welcome to week 5 of our summer session. As you know, I'm back in San Marcos. It's a long week away and long rides to Northern California. Anyway, so I'm very happy to be back in my home office. Um, so I wanted to give you just a few minutes of a video overview to talk about what we could do, what you're planning to do for week 5. Um, and so I've been sending you various messages, but I think it's good to also hear it, not just on emails and stuff, but or in the syllabus, but also here in the video overview. Okay, so the idea for the debate this week is that you're going to have your own original statement about reform, like what should we do to improve things? What do you think is wrong? What should happen? Okay, so that should be, well thought out and kind of a strong, impassioned statement. But the statement, and not statement as in a sentence, okay, like several paragraphs. What's your plan? What do you think is wrong? What do you think should happen? What makes you think that? Where's your evidence? So this isn't just like fly off the cuff political debate. Although, as I've mentioned, school reform is definitely political. So I have resources that are from the right and from the left, and just kind of from the middle, I guess. Sociology is not a political, necessarily a political perspective. I mean, sociology is not a political perspective. However, the solutions and the way that we identify the problems can get political in the sense that sociologists are not looking at exclusively an individual's kind of rights, an individual's aspirations, an individual behavior. We're not looking just at what one person should do or should or should not do. Rather, and this is what I talked about in the lecture, so definitely read the lecture to get an overview. Frequently what we think about as an individual situation or individual private trouble, as we call it, there's frequently larger, broader, structural, institutional reasons behind individuals' actions, right? So of course individuals have agency, they are their own actors. However, for a sociological perspective, especially a critical one like the one we're taking in this class and the one we have at Cal State San Marcos, we don't just stop at the individual actor, the individual agent. We want to understand the larger issues at hand. Okay, so I'm really going to be looking out for in your debate statements, not just someone should have a better attitude or parents should try harder or teachers should be like this or like that. I want you to make your statements sociological. I want them to be well thought out and also to include your evidence behind that. Okay, so that's your statement. Now, the other part of the forum this week is that the debate forum is that I want you to respond or engage, in 3 other debates. At least, I should say 3 other debates, or if you get really involved in one debate and you go back and forth, okay. The thing is, though, that why I recommend just get engaged into 3 other debates or with 3 other threads, is I want you to bring your course material, your evidence, not only from this week, and this week is, very important, but also from the class, from the session that we've been in. Okay, so I want you to be able to not just say, yeah, things should be like that, I agree, and certainly you can talk about your own experience or your own schooling experience, but I want you to be able to say, yes, like so-and-so report found, or, well, wait, the research on this shows, okay, and I want you to be able to cite and use your evidence, okay? So that's the main idea behind the debate. So thoughtfulness, evidence-based ideas, engaging, and just a few lines of reply, I'm not going to cut it. I need you to dig in deeper this week because we only have our one last forum. Okay, so every aim for 5 to 7 at least sentences for replies, using evidence, using diverse course materials for your own posting to kind of start off your thread of the debate. You should have a provocative title, and then it should be at least 2 good, strong paragraphs full of course material, if not more. Okay, and when I say paragraphs, this is the 5 to 7 sentences in a paragraph. Okay, so you should be watching the film, waiting for Superman, read the lecture, read through all the FYI material, and some of them are websites, so you just want to click around because you need to start forming what you think you need to write about, and what do you think you're going to respond to. And of course, the actual research on reform, which is our assigned reading. This week, I highly recommend you doing level 1 to level 2 reading. That means you're reading, taking very close notes for your, most of the readings, or minimum doing that focused reading I talked about. Okay, so really nail all the readings this week. Finally, the last thing I want to let you know is that there is a quiz option. You could take quiz 5. Now, here's the deal with quiz 5. If you feel like your grade is pretty good as it is, no need to take quiz 5. But there's some of you who maybe feel like, ooh, I've missed something or whatever. You need some points, not extra credit, but you need another opportunity to increase your grade. Okay, so the quiz 5 is not extra credit. Quiz 5, everyone and anyone should and could take quiz 5, but I'm more letting folks know that if you feel fine with your grade as is, then you probably don't need quiz 5 to help build it up. Here's the deal though. Your quiz 5, if you take it, is going to count. So the good news is, if you really do prepare for this week's forum debate, you're going to be in really good shape for quiz 5. Okay? If you're just, slacking off on the debate, which means you're slacking off on reading all the material for this class for this week, then you are not going to do well on quiz 5. I will guarantee it. So you need to decide. The final thing we're doing this week is a final exam, and I'll probably do another video overview for the final exam, but the exam you can see it, that it's there on quiz, on our Cougar courses, but it's not open yet. It doesn't open until Thursday. Okay, so I will open the study guide later today. I will do a little overview of the questions, so watch out for those videos. Okay, so I'm hoping you're working really hard and reading and preparing and exploring all these issues around reform. This is our last week, so I'm really hoping you end strong. We finish on a high note. We're not just dragging ourselves over the finish line. Okay, so we'll see you online, and just read, prepare for your debate. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.